and that actually made everyone realize the importance of our mental health more than anything else. And because suddenly the entire environment changed for everyone, and people who were living freely, doing everything they wanted, were confined to their homes within the four walls of their small rooms to oblique houses. And many people suddenly started going through different after effects of not only the issue of COVID, but the other associated problems in terms of dealing with family. Children have started a lot of challenges in terms of the education, because everybody had to transform to online way of functioning. And even those who were conducting, because my wife herself is an educationist, I saw her the way the teachers and the schools had to you know discover new ways to engage their students, and get not only that but also keep the parents also satisfied. Because suddenly there was another angle to it, wherein parents said that now the school is not functioning, so why should I give the fees to the school? And but they were not ready to realize that okay, you don't have to fees, but the schools have not removed the teachers or the staff from the job. They have to pay them salaries. Similarly, all of us who were in jobs, we were getting paid for our salaries even though we were working from home. And mm, for IT professional, it was relatively easier, I would say, because they were used to working from home. However, the system was 5 days work and weekends party hard. So that party hard suddenly went away. So these were certain issues which people faced, and it was something which uh, mm, made us realize the importance of mental health and how to become flexible and how to handle the challenges that life throws at us. And that is where I feel the mental resilience comes into play. And as one of our mentors, Brigadier Sushil Basin, he's the one I would give credit for me to be here at this place, or at this level of my coaching and mentoring journey. I used to say, why instead of saying bouncing back, why don't we use the word bouncing forward? Because
Wonderful.
we are moving forward. We are not we are not going back. However, the key to it was learning from the failures or setbacks that we are facing in our life, and how to handle those failures and how to convert those failures into opportunities to grow. And that was one thing which I would say made us uh, realize the importance of mental health first in the first place. And you all must have also gone through some traumatic time during that time, those days, and uh, overcome them in their own way. The way some without any external help, some with help from others. And one more thing which came into this was like I was during that time I was toward the fag end of my career. I was about to complete my service. I actually hung up my uniform in September 2020 after completing my full service in the army. And I was also looking for opportunities as to how can I keep myself gainfully occupied, how can I contribute to the society, and also uh, be my own boss. Because in army we had this saying that you are not on a job 24 hours in a day, but 48 hours in a day, or 8 days a week. So even though you may be at home or you may be on leave, but you can be called for any task at any time when it comes to uh, the service of the nation and also your profession. And so that is how I came into contact with Brigadier Sushil Basin. I did a couple of courses and workshops under him, and that also made us realize the power or opportunities that the online platform has provided us. And all of you, like now, we are sitting here on a Zoom meeting from different corners of the world, uh, and
Right.
communicating with each other. So that is something which we realize, and all of us who converted that challenge into opportunity and use it for our growth are doing amazingly well. And there were some people who struggled in that place. And many of you must have realized that whether you are working professional, whether you are a independent entrepreneur or a business owner, the advantages of working online because you don't have to invest in fixed costs in terms of having a building, having an office space, providing these kinds of providing the other facilities to your employees. And so these were certain things which made us overcome the challenges there that were thrown to us by COVID. And now, when it comes to mental resilience, one more thing which I realized, which uh, made people successful or uh, fa- difficult to face challenges is how your mind is coded, how your we used to talk earlier about your belief systems, core values which are being ingrained into us by the way we have been brought up in our family, by the way we have our teachers and our education system has taken us. And those things actually used to define our personality because many of us would have realized that earlier. Now things have changed a lot. But earlier, if you were living in a strict home environment wherein you did not have the freedom to express yourself, or you were expected to do what you have been told without even asking a question. So when you grow up, suddenly you realize when you till the time you're in a protective environment in a school, it is okay. But when you went out into college, suddenly you found yourself at a loss. And this I myself also experienced because suddenly when you're on your own, it becomes a different kind of a challenge to handle the pressures or the social challenges in terms of communication with others, your friends, your colleagues, or even your teachers, expressing yourself freely. These were things which were not, I would say, easy to handle. And uh, also, by during my coaching journey, at initially I was also learning. I was also trying to uh, change my mindset because in army we were used to think you have given an order, it will be executed. You don't have to worry about it. But when you came out of the army, so toward the end of my career, I was also uh, working in the NCC. I was commanding a NCC battalion, and there we were dealing with students. We were dealing with teachers and mm, lecturers of schools and colleges. When we were interacting with them, we realized that if you tell them to do something, or if you give them instructions, it will not be done automatically. There's a kind of a uh, inborn resistance because of the culture, work culture maybe, or also lack of accountability was another thing. And so one had to adapt oneself to the change environment, and instead of expecting others to change, we had to change our own way of functioning to get the best out of these people. There again, your mindset and mental resilience comes into play. That was another lesson for me. And that is how we uh, grew up into a better individual. And also professionally, one was able to create a place for or credibility for oneself. And uh, last year, I was given a chance to interact with the students of Kumba from Pune University MBA, where I had done my MBA from. And I was given an opportunity to interact with the students and talk to them about mental resilience. And the specific requirement of theirs was how to become mentally resilient to in order to face the challenges when you're going out for sitting for interviews, job interviews, or even when you're joining a job initially, the kind of work environment you're facing, the kind of challenges you're facing, how to handle that. And again, uh, it all boiled down to the your mindset. And I'm sure many of you who are experts here in your respective own fields would have also felt the same thing at some point of your life, either in terms of what do you call day-to-day interaction with your family members or even with your professional journey. And another thing which came to my mind was that if you are able to uh, adapt, if you have that ability or mental flexibility is what we used to call in the army. If you have the mental flexibility to change your way of functioning, change your thought process as per the changing circumstances, as per the changing environment, it becomes very easy for you to excel in whatever you are doing. However, if you have that thing, though, no, I am like this, I cannot do. You have to change as per my requirement or as per my way of functioning. Then things become a little bit difficult for us to handle. And it works both ways. It works for the employees as well as employer. And similarly, if we talk about students, whether it is in schools or colleges or the teachers, the same thing works there also. And that is something which made me realize the importance of being mentally resilient. And many of you must have gone through some kind of a failure or setback during your career or in your personal and professional life. Again, how do you handle those setbacks? How do you handle those failures? And as I had mentioned, uh, you can either sit down and start crying or worrying about, no, this is beyond my control. I cannot handle this situation. I cannot handle the challenge. And other option is, okay, no, fine. I tried something, it did not work out. Now, what can I do differently to achieve that objective? And here, what I also realize, and I also, while interacting with many people or clients while I was working with them, we realized that it also depends upon your upbringing, the way you have been conditioned, however, the way your mind has been conditioned. And your cultural background, your family background, your educational background, all these things come into play. However, in spite of this, it is possible for all of us to work irrespective of whatever age we are, irrespective of whichever gender we are, whichever environment we are working in. If we are ready to adapt to the changing environment, if we are ready to work upon ourselves instead of trying to expect others to work on themselves, it becomes easier to handle these kind of situation. And that is where other thing, as I was when I was interacting with Shivani as to what I can talk about mental resilience and mindset is that mindset shift is all working on your inner world. And here comes the mind hacking part. So many people wonder what exactly is mind hacking. So this is was a new term for me also initially. But when I came in contact with another great mentor of mine, Mr. Arfin Khan, and I worked with him, I did a coaching program with him called the Incredible You Coach Training. That is where we realized what exactly is important. If we are ready to address our internal world first, while and then handle the external world, it becomes easier for us to adapt to these changing circumstances, changing environment, challenges that we are facing in life. Because challenges will come to us. You cannot avoid challenges. You cannot avoid adverse situations. You cannot avoid failures also. It, no matter how hard we may try, things are likely to fail. Things are not likely to happen the way we expect it to happen. But if we are mentally resilient, we have the mental flexibility. Also, we have that inner strength. We call it, mm, which comes from inside. It becomes easier for us to handle the things and also uh, grow personally or professionally as an individual or as a person uh, for each one of us. And here, one more thing which comes into play is when I talked about the word mind hacking. All of you who have got a IT background, you must have heard about hackers. So what does a hacker do? Hacker gets into the system and finds the loopholes and exploit that loophole to create disruption in the system or uh, use it to their advantage. Because these days you must have realized there are so many cases happening wherein people are falling prey to online fraud, online scams. So that is where these hackers are coming into play. However, there's another thing called ethical hacking, wherein companies employ these professional hackers to again do the same thing, find the loopholes, and then help you to plug those loopholes so that say, your system can work efficiently with the even if they have been attacked by hackers or the system has been to make it foolproof. So similarly, what does a mind hacker do? The mind hacker, as a mind hacker, I when I'm working with my client or with I'm working with somebody, I'm firstly helping them to identify themselves, get into their system, this mental system, see how my mind is working, see what is my thought process, whether I am have a mindset of abundance or I have a mindset of scarcity. So after I have identified that, secondly, I identify how my mind is coded. You must have heard about core values. So what are the things which are very, very important for me as an individual to succeed in life or whether personal or professional. Also, to handle tough situations in life. And in case those values are violated, how it affects my entire way of functioning. So we identify that. Secondly, we also identify how my mind is coded. What do I mean by how my mind is coded? Means what are my uh, belief system or what is my mindset? As I said, do I look at life or challenges as a problem which cannot be handled or solved, or do I look at these things as a opportunity for growth? Okay, for if I give you example, the most common, if I give my own example, when I was in school, I was an average student. When I went to after completing my graduation, I went to college, joined BSc, and I failed twice in my second year. And it was definitely a shock for me as well as for my parents. But uh, the so those days there were no educational counselors. There was no professional help. Luckily, in our university, there was one lady. So, because of advice of some friends, I was taken there. She made me do this. Uh, that time it was a psychological assessment test, and then they helped me identify. Okay, you're not made for science, but you can switch over to either arts or commerce. So I switched over to commerce, and my second year, when I got a first division. So suddenly the thing changed, and that was the my learning from failure. That yes, okay, if I face a wall in front of me, and if I keep on banging my head against the wall, wall is not going to break. I'll not be able to get through. But if I find a way to circumvent that wall, either climb and go across, or I find a way to uh, go from the side, I will be able to reach my destination. So that is how uh, 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 we need to, not only as individuals, but even as parents or as employers or employees, have this thinking. Yes, you have to find ways to move forward. And in case you are not able to do it yourself, then seek help. This is another thing which we find many of us don't want to be seen as vulnerable, don't want to be seen as weak, especially men, because that is how we are brought up. You have to be stronger. You cannot cry. You cannot, because you are the breadwinner of the family, so you could not be seen weak. And many of us who are here must have gone through these feelings also at some point of our life. And again, uh, your mental resilience, your mental flexibility, ability to overcome challenges, converting them into opportunities, as also learn from those failures and use them as a stepping stone for success. It will come into play. So, since I was talking about the mindset, so if you have the abundance mindset, you will be able to do all these things. But if you have a scarcity mindset, you will not be able to do it. You will not be able to move forward. And so this is the second thing which we are doing in a mind hacker does to help you identify. You also do now that you have understood what are my I would say, belief systems or negative beliefs which are preventing me from moving forward. How do I convert them into a positive? As we always talk about positive thinking, but positive thinking also doesn't happen automatically. Even if I want to think positively, even if I want to grow, but something in my the back of my mind is not allowing me to do that. And what is that? That is lack of self belief, lack of uh, self acknowledgement. Again, many of you must have realized that at times it becomes difficult for us to handle appreciation from people. Even if you're succeeding, but you're not ready to believe that yes, I am succeeding. Your mind will again, it also again comes back to the mind. And there's a very famous analogy which I was given to one of my mentors, that there are certain dogs in the back of mind which are barking at you. And you say, for example, if I say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to climb Mount Everest, you say, how can you do that? You don't have any capability. You're not physically fit. You don't. Mm, you can't even walk 5 kilometers. How do you expect to climb Mount Everest? But another way of thinking is, yes, I want to do that. I will seek help. I'll train myself. I will work. If I have to work for 1 year on my physical fitness, I do that. And thereafter, I'll go with a group. I'll not go alone. I will go with a group of experts, and they will help me achieve my aim. And again, here is what your uh, mental resilience or mental mindset comes into play. And one more thing which I realized was that, especially after COVID, earlier it was a taboo for us to even accept that I have a problem. And secondly, after even accepting it, it was again a taboo to go and seek expert help, whether it is from our family members, whether it is from friends, or even experts like coaches and mentors. It could be in the form of medical help, or it could be in the form of guidance and seeking guidance from people. And you must have seen in the last couple of years, suddenly there's a boom of coaches, mentors, healers, counselors, and there are different ways or people are trying to handle the challenges they are facing mentally. They're also realizing the importance of mental health. Earlier it was only focused on your physical health. Physically fit, you should be like every man used to wanted to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger with the powerful body. But we also realized, especially after COVID, that only having a powerful body or physical fitness is not enough. Mental flexibility, mental uh, resilience, or even strong mindset is very, very important for us to succeed. We have the latest example of our famous cricketers. Everybody is talking about Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, world's top batsmen, and suddenly for the last almost 1 year, they are failing again and again and again. And we have seen experts talking about that. There's nothing wrong with their technique. There's something here which is blocking them, and that is why we saw that. And in India, especially because cricket is like a religion for us, the entire media, everybody becomes an expert, and they are dissecting each and every move that they are making. And the latest example, another from the sports, is we have champions like Neeraj Chopra, who came from out of nowhere, and suddenly he won Olympic medal. He won, and he's a example how you can succeed in life. We have also examples of people in other fields, Indians who are doing very well. If we look at Satya Nadella, or even Sundar Pichai, and also that lady who was the CEO of Infosys earlier. So these are certain things which we see and hear. And what is important now for us is to how quickly can we adapt to changing circumstances, how quickly can we accept the realities of life, and how quickly can we work on ourselves. Main thing is working on ourselves. That will help us achieve the goals or the outcomes that we have set for ourselves, whether it is your professional goal, career goal, or even your personal life goals. And here, mental resilience and mindset comes into play, and plays a very, very important role. So that is what I thought I would like to share with you. And in case you have any specific questions or queries related to mindset shift, becoming mentally resilient, you're most welcome to ask me. And one more thing I would want to add here is, being in the army, people say army is or the armed forces. Your discipline is something which is ingrained in us. So, but more than discipline, discipline, I personally feel self-discipline is more important. If we can exercise self-discipline, and the simple example is if you're going on if you're traveling from one place to other in your car, you come to a crossing, you see a red light, but you see there's no vehicle moving around. Do you stop, wait for the light to turn green, or you jump the red light? And 99% of cases, you must have realized that people have this tendency, especially in our country, to break rules. So if I am following the rules or if I'm and regulations which are expected from me, I can not only become a better citizen, but I can also set examples for others. And that is through self-discipline. And one definition of self-discipline, which was given to me by mentor Brigadier Sushil Bhasin, was doing what you ought to do when you do not want to do it and when no one is watching you. Whereas most of the time, what happens is uh, many of us, not everybody, many of us do things just to show to people how we are, whereas internally we might be different. So, self-discipline, mental resilience by uh, achieving mental flexibility, seeking help from people where we are not able to handle things ourselves, and also setting examples for others. Instead of expecting people to change for everything, changing our internal coding, wiring of the mind, and thereafter using it as a stepping stone for success would take us where we want to reach in our life, personally or professionally. So, Shivani, you can take over from here.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, sir, for your wonderful thoughts and sharings. Definitely, these are some of the things we all need to focus on, and mental resilience is the only thing that helps us keep going despite the setbacks, despite the challenges that we face, and definitely these talks will curate some kind of a strength in each one of us. And I would like you to narrate what top five lessons would you like to bring from your army life that will help our audience develop a better mental resilience.
So, if I talk about the army life, first thing which starts is like when we joined the academy. Initially, I
Right.
joined the IMA. So, first thing that we did was to kill our ego. So it was not only physical conditioning, but it was also mental conditioning. So once you have killed your ego, because everything flows out from there,
Right.
especially in our Indian cultural system or family system, wherein most of the time we think that I am right, rest everybody is wrong, and what I say has to be done. Or another thing we say, I cannot do this. We are very clear in expressing these are the things which I cannot do, or these are the things which I can do. Whereas, so one is yeah, it is okay to have ego in certain places, but instead of ego, if you have that, we at times we also confuse between ego and confidence. Confidence comes from knowledge and experience, whereas ego could be just because of our mental conditioning. So if I talk about, especially about army life, first was killing your ego. Second is discipline. Discipline is very, very important. If we, whether you are a student, whether you are a professional, whether you are a uh, owner, business owner, Certain things have to be, you have to create a schedule for yourself, you have to follow that schedule, and also create a system. And these days now it has become much more easier because of the AI. The things have become much more easier. It gives us a lot of flexibility to create systems for ourselves and create things for others who are working under us. Then the third, after that, it also comes to your flexibility, mental flexibility, and adaptability. Like in army, when we were taught about leadership, we used to say uh, 26 principles of leadership. Every alphabet has something ingrained in terms of leadership principle, like adaptability, flexibility, communication, camaraderie, leading by example, especially for leaders, in terms of whether you're a team leader, whether you're a business owner, uh, what you expect people to do who are working under you, do it yourself. Like in the army, as young officers, when we join our regiment, we had to excel in everything that our men are doing. Like I am from Ahmad Corps. When I joined my regiment, I was handed over the keys of my tank, and that is normally held by the driver. And for 1 month, I had to live on the tank, learn everything, whether it is driving, whether it is operating the gunnery system, whether it is communication system, so that I am as good as the as my driver, as my gunner, as my operator in terms of operating the radio. So they also have the belief. They, instead of just because of my rank, expecting them to give me respect, by working with them and proving that I am equal, if not better them technically in operating the systems, I will earn their respect. Because ultimately, when I am going into operations, they are going to follow me blindly. They are going to lay their life for the nation, and there in the battlefield, we are looking after each other. So that was one more thing which we learned: camaraderie, and as we commonly say, walk the talk, or practice what you preach. So these are the things which we learned and which we followed throughout our service life. And even now, you must have interacted, or you must have come across many veterans who transition from the armed forces into the civil world in terms of corporate or other organizations. They are successful, and why? Because they are still following the core basic tenets which we have learned during the army training. And mm, one more thing which I realize is important is your willingness to learn new things, willingness to adapt to changing circumstances, willingness to uh, uh, also mentally, with the mental flexibility, willingness to learn to the changing environment and master that. Because learning again is a continuous process. And if we have that, again, mind, it comes to mindset, that if we have that mindset of learning and excelling things. And here, one more thing which comes into my mind is that at times we trying to be perfect may not work, but trying to become to excel will work. Because there will never be a perfect time, there will never be a perfect opportunity, there will not be never be a perfect timing for doing anything. So
Very true.
if we seek excellence, it will be better for us to do that, and it will give us better results. uh, and also uh, planning and execution. We used to always prepare for the worst case scenario. so that if that happens, 99% chances are that worst case scenario may not happen. But in case it happens, then I'm mentally prepared. I have my things in place. I have my system in place to handle those situations and come out of that challenge successfully. And lastly, I would say is what we call as positive mindset. Be work with a open mind, accept and adapt. And many times we expect people to change instead of us changing. So if we change ourselves internally, our thought process, automatically people will also change. When they you changing, when they see changes in you, the people around where you will also change their way of functioning, whether in your personal life, whether in your professional life. So these are certain things which not only from the army but overall in experience has taught me and helped me become better as a better person, uh, professionally and personally.
Thank you, sir. These are really wonder nuggets. So definitely killing your ego and becoming confident definitely comes from knowledge. Discipline is very essential, as you rightly mentioned, and not only in army life, but in everything we do. And mental flexibility and resilience is the most important thing. And I would like to add here that people have three kinds of mindset. We have heard about two kinds of mindset, either growth mindset or a fixed mindset or a abundance mindset or a scarcity mindset. But people do carry three kind of mindset, and how they work is the number one people are those who think that I know this much only, and I can do this much only.
Mhm.
This is out of my expertise, and I cannot do more than that. So those are the fixed mindset kind of people. Another level is the people who try, and they try to make changes. They try to do. Let me try. They think that let me try, but then
Mm.
in one or two failure, they give up and go
Yeah.
back to their comfort zones. And the third kind of people are those carrying the mindset of make it happen.
Yeah.
So this
And you
is
mentioned
my
about the
learning.
comfort zone, Shivani. That is
Yeah,
also another very, very, I would say, important thing. Getting out of your comfort zone is again a challenge for many people.
right.
That also puts us, it puts us into a feeling of a status quo. And that is where when you said, okay, I'm happy with what I have, I don't want to move beyond that. That's it. That's
Right.
good enough.
When they
Or
face
uh,
once or twice failure, they just get back to their comfort zones.
absolutely, yeah.
And the third kind is that make it happen with whatever it takes.
Mm.
These
And
are the basic three kind of mindset that people do carry, and even we do carry at different intervals of time at different scenarios. So
absolutely,
these
and
three kind of
and one
mindset resides in each one of us.
absolutely, and one more thing I want to add here is that which I forgot to mention. What in terms of learning from army was that uh, we always said that every problem, every challenge has got minimum three solutions. Minimum three.
Right,
Like normally we say it will happen or not happen.
right,
But most of the time, we what prevents of us, as you mentioned, taking that step forward is that we don't believe that it is possible, or even if or we don't want to try, we don't want to get out of a comfort zone. Third, you also mentioned about they try, fail, and then go back. And the last is the yes, I will make it happen. And or if you see, try. There used to be a saying that try and try again till the time you succeed, or till the time it actually you're able to achieve your aim, or that able to overcome the challenge that you're facing. And
Def-
yeah, one more thing is mm, the we have to have that mental clarity as to who I am and what do I want from life, what do I want to achieve in life. Most of us do not have that clarity also. We know we have a fair idea, or we have a general idea as to what we want, but how we I want to achieve, what tools do I need, that clarity is not there. So that is again, if we are ready to seek help towards that getting that clarity, whether from our friends, whether from our colleagues at work, or even from our seniors or subordinate, even at times, even subordinates also teach you a lot of things, which is kind of we say it is like a eureka moment, or a light bulb moment these days we talk about.
Definitely.
I was reminded of that ad which was recently being said. I did not know that I had. It was, I think, for some TV or some. I had it, but I did not know it. And suddenly, when I had that realization, I was able to overcome or make things happen.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have all the resources within us, and that's where we need to acknowledge clarity is essential for bringing for reaching out to your goals, what you really want to achieve in life. And clarity is definitely essential. As per my thinking and understanding, I hope belief and gratitude definitely plays a great role in
Yes.
bringing one's mental resilience to the highest level. So, what is your take on that?
So yes, Shivani, you brought a important point regarding gratitude. Expressing gratitude is very, very important, not only to others, but to yourself. Many of time we underplay ourselves, we underplay our own capabilities and qualities. And if we express, yes, it is good to express gratitude to others for whatever they have done in our life, or whatever role they have played in our life. But uh, expressing gratitude to ourselves and appreciating ourselves, self, that also brings that self belief, that also conditions your mind to think, yes, I can do this, I can take that one leap of faith to reach where I can reach, or where I want to reach. So, plus another thing which I also realize when you're talking about gratitude is that we take things for granted. So instead of taking
100%.
things for granted, if we appreciate them, whether it is activity, appreciate the people who are there in our life who have played some kind of role, whether good or not good. And many a times I also realize that if somebody has not helped you at a particular point of life when you had sought their help, they have also contributed in your growth, because they have said no, so you decided, okay, you are not going to help it, I will prove it and I will do it myself.
Definitely. They
So
had made you more resilient.
they have made you more resilient. And it it they, it has happened, especially in the army. Many times we come across people, we come across situation wherein they say, "Sir, it is not possible. I cannot do anything." So we said, "No, you will do it. Come what may. You have to do it." Like in the
Right.
training when we were in the academy, we had a very common phrase: "Beg, borrow, steal." But you have to get it. You have to get it. And otherwise because it is a matter of life and death. What sets apart people from the armed forces from other people, it could not only army, navy, air force, but even people who are in police, who are in those other uniform forces. What sets them apart is that when they are in a situation wherein the life of others depends upon your action or inaction, then you realize why it is very important for you to be mentally resilient. And you have examples uh, of Vijay, of Parakram, even 71 war, where people have done some exceptional things, and they have laid their life to uh, for the nation. And it is also happening now in terms of wherever the counter-insurgency operations are taking place in the valley. Not only armed forces are doing it, even the other forces, police forces, CRPF, wherever they are involved. This again, training, mental resilience, preparation. These are all things which are helping them achieve success. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Hirani ji
So,
wants
yeah.
to ask something. Yeah.
No, no, it's resilience is a very favorite subject for me. I've gone through my life. I am a specially able person, and
Okay.
I've done everything. From walking to school to skydiving. I swim, I drive car. That's a different thing. But I've gone through in my life, in my business also. I know what is resilience. So when you talk about mind, mind is always jumping.
Yes.
You don't know where to land. So, and second thing, mind and body are connected. When our mind is not working, if you keep yourself in a straight position, take a deep breath, even then you can control your mind for a second or some time and bring it to the proper position. So resilience is more about being mentally prepared, but same in the same time, your body can also affect your mind. So if both are
Yes.
combined properly, it can have a great effect. Because whenever I see a situation, I said I have gone through a lot. I don't want to discuss that right now. It will be a long story otherwise. So whenever I have to face the situation, first thing I did, wow, it is an NLP. I didn't say wow, I had a different word, but in NLP they say wow. So this is what I did. Oh
Hmm.
wow. Now there is a good challenge for me. And I always do, as you mentioned right now in some time back, okay, you have to go beyond your fear. डर के आगे जीते. So whenever some
Absolutely.
issues come,
Hmm.
I think about solution because I know till I don't overpower it, it will overpower me. So it is if you take it, it is so simple. We make it hard. You have to
Hmm.
just look at that fact, take it as a fact, and work on it. But we look at it as a fear, as a big challenge, and make it more bigger. Frankly speaking, it is too simple if we make it simple. But we have made our life very, very complex nowadays. That's all. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely, I fully resonate with you, Hirani ji, what you're saying, and that word "डर के आगे जीत है." Yes, everybody is scared. Everybody is fearful at some point of their life. However, how do I overcome that fear? So, ways to uh, equip myself with those capabilities, whether it could be in terms of knowledge, whether it could be in terms of expert help, whether it could be in terms of training, or uh, even if they feel okay, as Shivani mentioned, okay, I might fail, but let me take a chance.
Negative.
let me take a chance, let me try. And so you must have heard many times in our normal day-to-day thing, when we say you, especially you must have experienced with the parents or grandparents, when you say कि I want to do so and so, वो तेरे से कैसे होगा, तेरे को तो पता नहीं, अगर गलत हो गया तो क्या हो गया, ये हो गया तो क्या हो गया. So what our children say, अगर नहीं हुआ तो क्या होगा. We never think on those lines. We always think what can go wrong, but we don't think what can go right. If it goes right, then what?
Sir,
Like
one
for
thing.
example, learning to cycle.
Yes.
शुरू में तो गिरेंगे ही गिरेंगे.
मैं तो सीखेंगे नहीं गिरे तो सीखोगे नहीं.
बिल्कुल.
Sir, one thing more.
Absolutely.
If you say I can't, immediately you close that door. Immediately.
Absolutely.
But if you say I can,
Absolutely.
you can open the Pandora, of opportunities.
Hmm.
This is the difference.
And another
Sir,
word is
here I want to add
impossible.
something.
Impossible is I am possible.
I am possible, yes.
Yeah. So
Sir, I want to
Sona
add
ji wants
something.
to speak something.
Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Hi.
I'm also
Good
from
morning.
an army background. My dad was in the army, but that
Oh,
was a long
wonderful.
time back. So I just want to ask you, sir, that how do you train to build up resilience in the army?
So as I said, ma'am, we have one. First thing is it starts with your ego. First is is killing your ego, and thereafter, of course, training. And it involves physical training. It was acquiring the required skills, and also then we have these training exercises everywhere we go out in the field to mm, uh, if I say about firing, for example, firing a weapon. You have every quarter you go out and practice on the ranges firing. You uh, uh, keep on doing that till the time you do not achieve that kind of minimum level of excellence or expertise in doing that. Similarly, when it comes to operations, so many times people say लड़ाई तो हो रही है, तुम कर क्या रहे हो. So लड़ाई नहीं हो रही, but during this time I am preparing myself and my men to when uh, it takes place, I am ready, fully equipped in terms of my equipment, in terms of my physical uh, capabilities, in terms of my mental capabilities, so that when the situation arises, that time I am not looking left and right कि अब मैं क्या करूं.
Hmm.
So
But
so
yeah, yes, sir.
And you must have, since you said you must have, as a army kid, you must have seen uh, whether your father also.
Mm.
Every day, 5 o'clock, I'll get up and go for my PT, 6 to 7. Whether irrespective whether it is raining or snowing or what kind of weather, it will not stop.
Okay.
As they say, the show must go on. The external situation factors do not hamper you. If you have to go in operation, if you have to do something, you have to do it. ये नहीं कि आज बारिश हो गई तो हॉलीडे हो गया, या लाइट चली गई तो काम नहीं होगा. दे या कि गाड़ी पंचर हो गई तो कैसे जाऊं, साइकिल पंचर हो गई तो नहीं चल सकता, या पेट्रोल खत्म हो गया गाड़ी में तो अब मैं आगे नहीं जा सकता. तो वी एक्चुअली वी पुट रेस्ट्रिक्शन ऑन आवरसेल्फ. It's like kind of a self-destructing attitude.
Sir, one way you are saying you are not given choice. You have to do it.
Yes,
And that make you more resilient, right? You don't
that
have
is one
choice.
of
You have to do it.
that is one of
Yes.
the things. At times, when you have your वो जैसे वो रबर होती है ना, रबर बैंड का आप खींचते जाओ.
Uh,
There is a point where when you stretches too much, it will break, and the
yeah,
way it comes back, it will hurt you. So
absolutely.
So instead of reaching that situation or allowing that situation to happen, if we take preventive action, if we prepare ourselves, preparing ourselves is the most important part. So it comes through training.
Yes, sir.
it comes to learning and practicing.
You have to, sir,
Look
in
at
your
a
life.
sports
That
person.
means, sir, that means that you have to visualize
Yes.
things, like you visualize the war, that the war is
Hmm.
happening. So you're always in that state of preparedness.
Yes,
That is how you
Yes,
build up
ma'am.
your resilience.
very
So
true.
so yes, and not only that, like we have this war gaming preparing for different scenarios. So you are prepare SOPs, and then first you do it as a what you call brainstorming session. What all things can happen, how will you handle those things, and thereafter you prepare what all things you have to do, create a SOP, and then you practice. I'll give you example during Oparakram.
दैट मीन
In
सर, दैट
when
मीन्स डिसेंसिटाइज करना है अपने आप को आपने, मतलब आप उस सिचुएशन से डरे ना. यू हैव टू कीप ऑन विजुअलाइजिंग इट एंड डूइंग इट एंड brainstorming yourself so that you become desensitized, and then you become resilient to that. That is what you mean to say.
that is also part of this entire process. And
Hmm.
at times when if you look at a doctor, for example, or a surgeon, for example, when they are operating on people, they are seeing blood every day, cutting bodies and stitching them, and so if they start getting affected by these things, they will not be able to do their work.
Hmm.
Very true.
If you have doctors in your family,
Hmm.
and so you must have experienced it yourself also, that time my focus is on my work. I should not be emotionally affected by that situation.
But
The
then you
moment I
have to
get
go.
emotionally affected, or
Yeah.
I will not be able to do my job.
But you have to go into that profession by choice then. That
Yeah,
everybody
so
cannot be a soldier, that means. Now, everybody cannot be a doctor, a surgeon, because
so
some people are affected. So, people who are affected by them, who are affected by, who are emotionally affected, how do you make them resilient? By repeatedly telling them to do the same thing. Like,
practice, ma'am.
supposing if I don't
Training
want
and
to be
practice. So if you like, for example,
training.
somebody joins the armed forces, whether you join army, navy, air force, or even police, you are coming from yourself. Nobody is forcing you to join.
By
So
choice.
once you have come into that profession, then you have to do everything that you are required to do. And you must have seen that that's why these days very few people want to join these professions wherein there's more risk. If you ask a youngster today, he would be more than happy to join a, IT company wherein you sit in uh, a conditioned office, and where you go in the morning, come back in the evening, and at least you're reaching your home every day. But a person in, say, for example, police forces, why is the person who's standing on the road handling the traffic, they are also putting their life at risk. A person who's fighting criminals also putting their life as risk. So because one more thing which comes into play is your how what motivates you or what inspires you. Like we in the army, we say you have to have the fire in your belly. Even for a sports person to achieve or excel in what they are doing, they have to that fire in the belly. They have to have that determination, and also uh, 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 accept the challenge and willingness to do whatever it takes for me to excel in whatever I am doing. That is again a very important thing which uh, uh, helps you become mentally resilient. As Hirani ji said, he could have whatever physical challenge he is facing, he could have used that as an excuse that I cannot do anything. But he did not use that as an excuse. He overcome that challenge. So how First thing is he worked on his mind, because ultimately it is my mind which is telling me what I can do or what I cannot do. I think
Sir,
somebody else also wanted
I think
something.
if I would have done anything, if I don't do anything, I'm sitting home making excuse. That is the biggest risk for value. I'm dying
Absolutely.
every day. I'm dying
Yeah,
every day, and now
absolutely.
I'm living every day.
Yes, yes.
Sir, आपके जो ट्रेनिंग होती है ना, the training that you are provided in military, that itself make you resilient. इतना दौड़ाते हैं, इतना punishment देते हैं, आपका वो ego तो मर ही जाता है, but you also become so resilient. You know you can do anything now. That is tremendous.
Absolutely. And another thing is ki, you have to mm, s- realize that ki you have come into this profession of your own free will. Nobody has forced you to come here. Now that you have come here, that you have do everything what you are required to do. If you can't do, there are people who leave. There are people who leave during the training itself. We have seen in the academy, they will come and within 1 month they will run away. Sorry, I cannot do it. But there are other people who said, okay, I'll take the challenge, and they uh, uh, they either uh, either they will excel and reach because the top, only 1% can reach the top. You have a pyramidal structure. So at some place you will get that point. But thereafter, what? Are you
Plato,
ready to accept
Plato.
that and
Uh,
then use that as a opportunity to do certain things differently, or are you the one who is okay? Now I'll leave and do something different. I'll run away. You can. The running away is not an option.
not an option.
Running away is not an option. You don't want to come home as a coward कि मैं मैदान छोड़ के भाग के आ गया. So and your own self-respect, your own self-belief, your own self. That is where at times your ego plays a positive role also in your growth. You don't want to be seen as a coward, or you don't want to be seen as a person who ran away from difficult situation, who could not face.
वो
And
तो
you
सर
are
बोलते
also
ना,
not only you're setting example not only for yourself but your family, your everybody around else
everywhere.
around you.
Yes. सर ऐसे ही बोलते सर, ईगो है ना, ईगो नहीं होगा ना तो आदमी कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा. ईगो स्लाइट ईगो हैज टू बी देयर टू गिव यू ड्राइव.
Yeah,
If it then ego
but
overpowers you.
ego should not be used as an excuse
Yes.
to put other people down.
It's sorry. It should be your master. It should be your servant.
Actually, anything that we have, the moment we allow our thoughts to control our actions.
Us.
So the kind of thoughts which are running in our mind, you have the ultimately, if you realize, every person has control on your thoughts, every person has control on your action. However, your thoughts and actions has to be aligned together, and they have
Absolutely.
also to be aligned with your core values. They also have to align with your belief system. If everything is in sync, then nothing can stop you. But even if one thing is out of place, then you're gone.
But sir, one thing is very, very clear that if your work or your purpose don't align with your values, you are not satisfied. It has to.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is why we also talk about converting your passion into profession,
It's an interval. Right?
and love what you do and do what you love.
Do what you love. Sir,
The
love what
moment
you do
we
is the
start
most important
loving
thing.
what we do, automatically things we will excel at it.
मैं तो भाई बहुत बार बोलता सबको कि there are lucky people like Amitabh and Sachin who got to do what they love to do. But other people, if they start loving what they are doing, they are the most मतलब सबसे ज्यादा खुश नसीब है वो.
बिल्कुल. एक और चीज है, earlier we had not much of a choice. You had to finish your graduation to get a job. Earlier the thing was get a job and become independent. Now
Oh,
Now the entire thought process is changed, and we are encouraged. We encourage our children to do what they want to do and not go into the standard thinking, go into the rat race कि मेरे को खाली इंजीनियर ही बनना है या डॉक्टर ही बनना है.
I've
तो
done same thing as a. I've done same thing. My daughter said, I didn't want to learn. I said, what do you want to learn? She said, I am interested in this graphic, what do you want? Graphic design. I told, go there. She's doing good now as a social media.
absolutely.
So I gave that freedom. I don't know why, what made you do it, but I did it in my life.
So now we all of us are at that stage as parents. We can encourage our children to do things what they want to do, and we can be a facilitator for them, rather
Absolutely.
than being a roadblock, or rather than discouraging them from taking risk, because that is another thing which plays an important role in your
Important.
mental risk. If you're not ready to take a risk, then you will not be able to succeed. Uh, that is where what Shivani had mentioned, those people who say, I will make it happen.
Sir,
Look at the example.
So I would like to
just
add
me and
here that
Shivani has written a book, MPG. The Shivani, the Quran क्या अपना? Power of gratitude.
magical powers of
Magical power of
gratitude.
gratitude. Sir, gratitude is playing such a big role in our life.
Absolutely.
It's a great thing to do. And out of that, all positivity come out. All the positivity can come out that small seed of gratitude.
I
I
think
would like to
Manisha
add
wants to
here.
ask something.
Huh,
She's
Manisha,
her hand
yeah,
raised.
just
Yeah.
giving chance. Just one sentence I would like to add here. We just having clarity of what you want to achieve and getting prepared uh, for plan A. And when the plan A doesn't work, we have all other 25 letters from B to Z.
Yes,
No,
absolutely.
keep your plan B, C, D to Z ready, and you will find a way. Just have
Absolutely.
clarity
Absolutely.
what you want to achieve, you will find a way. And you never know, the plan B or C or D could be even better than plan A.
Yeah.
So this thought was coming to my mind when you were
And
discussing,
to
and
add
I
on to
wanted
what
to
you
add
said,
it.
let's first allow Manisha to
Yeah, definitely.
then we can.
Manisha, most welcome. Please ask your question.
नमस्ते सर, थैंक यू सो मच सर, वंडरफुल सेशन सर। सर
Thank
मैं
you.
ये पूछना चाह रही थी आपसे, सर आपने ना बताया कि ग्रेजुएशन के टाइम पे आप फेल हुए थे, राइट?
हाँ.
और सर अभी तो आप उसके आगे काफी इयर्स की जर्नी आपकी हो गई है। तो सर उस समय जब आप फेल हुए थे, जस्ट डोंट टेक अदरवाइज, वो जो माइंडसेट था आपका और जो अभी है, तो उसके बीच में वो कितना समय रहा एंड व्हाट वाज वन इनबिल्ट क्वालिटी that forced you to because I surely feel that you was not the same at your graduation time what you are now.
Yeah.
So what is that inbuilt quality, that force, which you think personally in your life has given you that change to accept situation and move forward?
So I think one was determination, that
Yes, sir.
okay, fail हो गया मैं, but
Yes, sir.
now I have to prove to myself and my parents and everybody else, ठीक है, one failure doesn't stop me from moving forward. And that is where seeking professional help made a lot of difference, because that time it was no, you have taken admission in BSc, you have to complete your BSc only. No, but now once you sought professional help, and you were shown ki maybe this is not meant for you, you are not conditioned for this, so maybe if you change your approach, you have that flexibility to switch over to something different, you will be successful. And so willingness to seek help, willingness to change your field, and thereafter determination to excel and prove that yes, I can do it. I have the capability. Maybe I was not meant to do BSc. I did BCom, and thereafter, once that happened, things had started uh, mm, getting into place, and also it had enabled me to regain my own lost confidence in myself. And many
तो
of
सर यहाँ पे
you
मेरा
must have
क्वेश्चन
seen,
है.
yeah.
Sir, I'm interrupting. Sir, I am just relating to kids of 10 years, okay? अब जैसे अगर मैं चाहती हूँ कि मेरा बच्चा कैशियो सीखे, तबला सीखे, पर सडनली वो कहता है कि मम्मा मुझे गिटार सीखना है एंड गिटार पे मेरा रुझान बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. सो आई थिंक वी शुड एक्सेप्ट दैट आल्सो, मतलब विद
Yes,
ऑल
yes.
यू
As
नो
parents,
कि बच्चा अगर गिटार कर रहा है.
we have to allow them to do what they want to do rather than it reminds me many times what we as parents do is things which we could not achieve, we want to achieve through our children. So we are using our children as a tool to achieve our dreams, and in the process we are killing their dreams. So if we allow them to express, if we allow accept, जैसे कि होता था पहले डॉक्टर का बेटा डॉक्टर ही बनेगा, नहीं, क्यों जरूरी नहीं है डॉक्टर बने, दे कैन गो एंड दे कैन बिकम ए लॉयर, दे कैन बिकम ए साइंटिस्ट, दे कैन बिकम ए actor, they can become a sportsman. And one more thing you must have realized that now a lot of people are uh, uh, entering the sports. Earlier sports was not considered, जैसे पहले ग्रेजुएशन करो, स्पोर्ट्स साइड में छोड़ दो, पढ़ाई पे ध्यान दो, खेलना का एक लेवल तक ठीक है, उसके बाद में नहीं है. बट नाउ the opportunities are there that people are excelling in sports. They really do not have to focus on only studies. So overall environment has also changed. More opportunities are being created now, which were not available maybe 30 years from now, or even 20 years or 10 years from now. So yes, we have to uh, be again willing to accept the reality and change as per the changing environment.
I
Sir,
hope
last thing can I say?
Manisha's question has been
Thank
answered.
you, sir.
Sir, one last thing.
Yeah.
When you are on a battlefield, you don't have any option, I think. You just have to fight.
Yes, absolutely.
So you have to burn all the ropes. Okay, that's it.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
And there's a saying, not to question why, but to do and die.
Do and die. Great line.
That is
Great line.
that is the core this thing of the
So can you repeat
armed
the
forces.
sentence?
Not to
Not to
question
ask,
by why, but to do and die.
do and die.
Very good.
I think
Gaurav ji,
Gaurav
you
has
can,
raised his hand.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
Gaurav.
can go ahead.
Yes, good morning, sir. First of
Good
all,
morning.
great lessons. Even
Thank
whichever
you.
the notes I have written, I just posted on our chat also. So we had
Wonderful.
got a lot of golden nuggets from you. And first, before asking one thing, maybe to Manisha, that if we fail more, it means we are succeeding as compared those who are not trying, right? So enjoy the failures. This is the
Yes.
way the life is. And even I can share one thing, like when I was in 11th class, I got fail. When I was in first year of my engineering, first semester, I got all the subject the marks 40 41, which was the passing marks. And my lecturer told me at that time, Gaurav, you are lucky, otherwise you could have failed in 4 exams.
Yeah.
That was the moment I realized it cannot happen with me. I'm not belongs to this place to be at failure stage.
Yeah.
Second semester in 65 class strength, I was the fifth ranker, top
Wow.
five, next 6 months itself. So it is just like consider yourself as a spring, या जैसे स्प्रिंग को जितना दबाएंगे उतना बाउंस करेगी, होने दो.
Absolutely.
तो दैट इज द वे आई सी द फेलियर. जैसे फेलियर आता है कि इसके नीचे तो नहीं जा सकते, दिस इज द वे आई सी द लाइफ.
Yes,
So
absolutely,
that is
Gaurav.
that
One
is
more
one.
thing is at times you need failure to give you a reality check, because we sometimes take things for granted. So
Absolutely.
that one failure gives you a reality check, and then the forces you
Everything
to
changes. Yeah.
rethink and
Right.
think your strategy and do things differently. Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Uh,
sometimes failure teaches that maybe our energy was not there. We कहते हैं ना
Yes.
energy goes, focus goes, energy flows. So maybe
Yes.
उस टाइम हमारी
Absolutely.
energy वहाँ focus नहीं था, हमारा कहीं और था. Let me put it
हाँ.
now here. So it is
Absolutely.
not. So
Yeah.
that is the one. And second, I can now I can proudly say like I'm in one of the company world's great pharma company. I'm the India procurement head, and all IITians are there. Even some director who are IITian. When I enter into the room, they just stand up and shake my hand. So time
Absolutely.
changes. You just have to be disciplined, as you said. So thank you so much, lessons. I think only one thing which I have the question, the person who stop you, I realize that is me only to myself, right? Whenever हमें कुछ करना होता है, हमें अंदर से जो fear आता है, even I am having one fear because I want to go for one top position, I want to apply, but having little bit fear despite of having all resources, like my wife
Hmm.
doctor, I have all finances, I have all time, all great mentors, mentees and teammates, still before applying I am thinking lot. वो कहते हैं ना, खुद को ही रोक रहा हूँ मैं खुद के
so
उससे.
what is
तो
Absolutely.
stopping you? When you introspect onto that, you'll get to know.
वो फियर ऑफ फेलियर जो मैं बात कर रहा हूँ ना, हमें फेलियर, हमें लगता है सब कुछ
Fear
अगर
of
अच्छा चल
failure.
रहा है तो फिर अटेम्प्ट क्यों करें, क्यों अटेम्प्ट करना है क्या. बट वन थिंग मे बी कर्नल आदित्य कैन टेल, बट वन ऑफ माय मेंटर टोल्ड मी यस्टरडे कि जब आप फाइनल स्टेज में होते हैं ना, तो यूनिवर्स आपको एक बार चैलेंज करता है कि आप
Hmm.
रेडी हो या नहीं हो उस चीज के लिए. आपको चारों तरफ
Absolutely.
से नेगेटिव क्वेश्चंस आएंगे, नेगेटिविटी आएगी, जस्ट टू चेक यू. यूनिवर्स इज चेकिंग यू, आप रेडी हो या नहीं हो उस जंप के लिए.
That is one thing, and one more thing which is also important, which I forgot to mention, is the environment around you.
Yeah.
We call the mastermind. So, for example, uh, 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 all of us have people in our life. There's a one category who will always create that doubt in your mind. Whenever you say, "I want to do it," they say, "How can you do it? ये तेरे बस की बात नहीं है." So that is
Hmm.
another thing which at times pulls you back and creates that seed of doubt in your mind. But there's another category who are always encouraging you. Yeah, go ahead and do it. And I think as that mastermind or that environment, we all of us need to have the right kind of people around us. For example, if you want to become a millionaire, you have to think like a millionaire. You have to have some people who are around you who are millionaires themselves, so you learn from them. And otherwise we will only keep on dreaming about it. We'll never be able to actually convert our dream into reality. And so it is very important for us to dream and have the belief that yes, I can convert my dream into a reality. And that is where your entire your values, your belief system, your focus, and your tools and techniques and everything, they once they are aligned, you will be able to achieve success. If they are not, and what Shivani had mentioned about clarity of what I want to, where I want to reach. If I don't know where I want to reach, how will I reach there? That is another famous saying by Brigadier Basim here. So if you see a GPS, you will. Today we are all dependent upon GPS when we are traveling. You enter the destination, it will show you one main route and it will show you alternate route also. So you have that flexibility of if the traffic is stuck, you have the flexibility to change and take a alternate route to reach your destination. But yes, you have to know where you want to reach. That clarity has to be there. And thereafter, you
I
will
would
find a way out to reach there.
I would like to add one sentence here. Um, those who are like saying you cannot, and those who are saying you can, both are correct. You need to decide whose side you have to walk.
Absolutely. Yeah. At times, people purposely say these things to you to challenge you, challenge your own capabilities. Or if so again, ultimately, you are the master of your own fate.
Be
And
the
as you said,
driver.
you have to decide, and
Right.
you will be able to decide only once you have the clarity.
And Shivani, as you said, like it is just like about choices. Whether you think you will do, whether you think you are not doing, both ways you are right. It's matter of choices.
Absolutely.
Hmm,
Absolutely. So what we believe, what we think is what we create in reality.
absolutely.
So thank you, sir, for all the wonder
Thank you very
nuggets you
much,
brought
Vani.
in today. And there are so many lovely comments buzzing in the chat box for the wonderful session. Many gratitude to you and wish you a very happy Republic Day in advance. And I wish that each one of us is free from self-doubt and fear and move forward with clarity and conviction. With committed efforts, definitely you'll reach your goal. Thank you so much
Uh,
for all our audience for making these sessions wonderful and successful throughout, and look forward in future too. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great
Thank you,
weekend.
Shivani.
Have a
The one
blessed.
last word, you talked about committed effort. So commitment is again very, very important. You have to make commitment to yourself than anybody else. And if you have
Absolutely.
that, once you have made that commitment, as that famous dialogue of Salman Khan, एक बार commit कर दिया तो फिर मैं अपनी भी नहीं सुनता. So that commitment is very, very
बिल्कुल.
important.
So I will remember this now.
एंड शिवानी, ये कल मुझे मेरे मेंटर से यही डांट पड़ी थी मुझे कि तुमने अपने आप को कमिट किया था 30 जून तक तुम डायरेक्टर बन जाओगे। अब तुम क्यों सुन रहे हो अपनी भी, क्यों इधर उधर दिमाग लगा रहे हो?
Absolutely.
व्हाई यू नीड ए वैलिडेशन? तुमने लास्ट ईयर
तो
कमिट
अभी
किया था ना।
सलमान खान को याद कर लीजिए.
कर लिया।
बड़ा सा फोटो लगा लीजिए अपने आगे.
फोटो लगा
यस
दीजिए।
यस, थैंक यू।
Wonderful.
Thank
And
you
thank
very
you,
much.
everyone.
Thank you,
See you next
Shivani.
Saturday.
It was an amazing session, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. I hope
Yeah,
I have
same
been
here,
able
sir.
to give some value to our
Not some,
audience.
it was a huge valuable session, and I'll be sharing the chat box screenshots with you, so you'll get to know what our audience thought about your talk.
Thank
So
you.
really wonderful and a blessed session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to have many more collaborations with you like this.
Yeah, sure. Look
Thank
forward.
you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mohan.
you. Yeah, thank you,
Thank
Mr. Gaurav,
you.
sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kruti.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
thank you, everybody.
Because I'm
Bye-bye.
also
Yeah,
in
somebody
procurement.
saying.
Gaurav, sir, can you take one lecture?
Up to Shivani. I'm happy to share my inputs always.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Because I'm also in procurement field, in the same field. So we are in the same boat. Can you take in your one lecture? So it's help for me and my skill also. I especially request you.
Sure. Happy to do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye.
you, everyone.
Have a great day and have a
Bye.
great weekend.